it for me. Like, this is what I was born to do. You know what I mean? Like, what did it for you?
Man, ever since like a young age, man, that's kind of been how I express myself. And, you know, my grandfather was real into music. So when I was a kid, we used to run around to the little record stores or whatever, you know, because that was back in what, maybe the late 90s. I ain't super old, but you know what I'm saying? I came up in a time where, you know what I'm saying, people were still buying CDs and such like that. So we'd be going to record stores. But like I said, other than that, it was always a way to express myself and tell my story.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Well, and that's always good whenever you're able to, be in a position where you feel like there is some substance there to where you can be able to tell the story a whole lot better, and
Yeah.
it also comes out a whole lot better in the music as well. So definitely, I definitely, can respect that for sure. Can respect that for sure. All right. So next thing I want to ask is, who would you say is your biggest musical influence and why?
Man, biggest musical influence, man. I wouldn't really just necessarily say I have a super huge musical influence, but if I had to say, man, it'd probably be Mike. You know what I'm saying? When I was a kid, I liked to watch a lot of Mike, man. I liked how he was kind of a rock star, but he was soulful being a rock star too, you know. So I was real intrigued with the rock star type of lifestyle Mike was living, man. And but other than that, I guess from a rap standpoint, you know, Snoop Dogg was always my dude when I was a kid. Like I said, I grew up, you know what I'm saying, around my grandpops, man, and that was his dude. So you know, I always felt like Snoop kept it OG, man, and he grew the right way, even from being a gangster rapper to what he is now. You know, doing all these cooking shows, man. So I like watching Snoop a lot.
Okay, so shouts out to Michael Jackson and Snoop Dogg. Okay, so definitely favorites of mine as well. So I definitely can resonate with you on those two because I listen to them all the time. So
Yeah,
definitely some pioneers in this game and definitely some iconic
man,
legends in the business. You know what I mean?
man,
All
and
right,
drove the
all right,
game.
already. So next thing I want to ask you is about how many albums or singles do you currently have out right now? For the
Man,
people that don't,
outright
for the people that don't know.
for the people that don't know, I got 4 videos out right now. Actually, you know what I'm saying? I ain't putting these singles out without videos yet because I feel like right now it's more important, you know what I'm saying, to be in people's vision. You know, I feel like
Right.
that's important as a starting off artist is people got to have a vision of you too. You know, it's not enough just to be putting the music out right now. You know what I'm saying? You got to be in people's face. So right now I got four videos out, man, but I actually got about 30 songs stacked up and I keep them stacked because I feel like you should go ahead and do stuff up front so then you could drop stuff how you want to drop it and
Right,
be
right. I feel
consistent.
you on that. Yeah, and it's crazy, man, because I actually listened to one of the songs, Candyland, and I gotta say, man, like that joint hit. So
Man, I appreciate that for real, man.
so
Appreciate you
so
taking your
so
time.
definitely, so I'm glad I'm able to, listen to a song like that and be able to, what I'm saying, vibe to, because it really got a, what I'm saying, a really dope vibe. So I fuck with it. You know what I mean?
I appreciate that a lot, man.
Most definitely. All right. So next thing on the list, if you had to choose your favorite venue that you've ever performed at, what would you say to you is your favorite venue?
My favorite venue so far, I did a little joint down in Alabama, that was put on by YFM. We actually did like a little show with Jose Guapo and stuff like that. So I say either that so far has been, you know what I'm saying, my livest venue, or when I was first starting, man, we did a show at the Square Room, man, and that was a pretty lit venue too. So between those two, man, those are probably the latest venues I've been a part of so far.
Okay, cool. Well, definitely should say, big ups to them. All right,
Man,
so
and I want to say, my bad. I want to say
are you
shout
good?
out to my boy KB with YFM because he put the whole show with Jose Guapo together, man. He did that himself.
Most definitely. Okay, well, definitely shouts out to him. You know what I'm saying? Definitely, say keep that, say keep that same, as I say, keep that same energy flowing. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah, man.
that's what's gonna continue to build the brand. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
All right. So next, what are your goals for 2020? Like, what's your number one goal for this year? Despite what's going on right now, like, what's your number one goal that you set for yourself?
The goal I set for myself, man, is really being consistent, man, staying consistent. Because you know, with everything going on right now, it's easy to get off track, man. It's easy to get
Right.
distracted and stuff like that, man. So I feel like as an artist, man, the most important thing, especially as a new coming artist, man, is consistency. You know what I'm saying? That's why I was saying earlier about recording all the songs up front, man. Because then no matter what happens, no matter if it's a pandemic, whatever is going on, man, I got everything ready, you know what I'm saying, to drop it
Right.
whenever I'm ready to drop it.
Right, I definitely agree because and that's good that you have that kind of mindset to saying be able to tell yourself that what I can't stop. I got to keep going because if I
Got
slow
to.
down, if I it's like if I slow down, then I will lose the momentum within, and you definitely don't want to lose that. So I definitely can resonate with you on that. I even myself have to tell my own self that half the time with what I do. So I'm like, yo, just keep going, what I'm saying? Because eventually something good is going to come out of this one way or the other. You know what I mean?
Man, and it get hard, you know what I'm saying? It get hard, especially right now while you at that point where, you know what I'm saying, you feeling like you're doing a lot of work, you know what I'm saying, and the full appreciation ain't there yet. But you know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's gotta be something to drive you to and stay real consistent. You know, because this
Exactly.
is right now is when you see if you love it or not, when you're not getting the recognition you want to, you know what I'm saying, or everything ain't how you want it to be. That's when you see how much you love something, or you gonna keep grinding with it.
Right. And you know what's funny? Because I really, and that right there, what you just said really just made a whole lot of sense because, that's something now that I begin to think about. Like, because I was in here early before I was getting ready to chop it up with you. I was literally thinking like, okay, I know I found something that I like doing. It's something that I can see myself doing, but am I gonna let the fact that I'm not really getting as much appreciation as I think I should get? Am I gonna really let that stop me? And I told myself, I'm like, yo, you know what? I'm gonna keep going because somehow, some way, this is gonna manifest in its own way. You know what I mean? And whether and if it's manifested in a way to build up and blow up to be bigger than life, then hey, I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know this was something that I created within me and within myself, and it's like, and as they say, it's like my birth child. If that makes any sense, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So I got to
And,
continue to chase it. You know what I mean?
and it's like,
All
man,
right.
as soon as you hit me up, man, this is gonna blossom for you, dog. Like as soon as you hit me up with the interview, man, it's like I told you, man, it's a brilliant idea, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna blossom, man.
Well, I appreciate that. I definitely appreciate that, man, and it means absolutely everything to me. You know what I mean?
For
So,
sure.
all right. So next thing I want to ask is, where do most of your songs come from? Like, where do they originally stem from? Like, is it love life, personal life, social life, family, friends? Where does all that what I'm saying within come from you?
I think most of the songs stem from me, from what I'm going through at the time, because like I said, I use music as a way to express myself, man. So whenever I'm going through something, I take time, man. I throw on a couple beats and I'm chilling or whatever. And then I start writing what I'm going through at the time, man. So I think most of my songs stimulate from whatever's going on in my personal life, whether it's love, whether it's family, whether it's anything like that, just whatever I'm going through personally.
Okay. All right. Well, I can definitely resonate with that. And that's good because again, like I said, anytime that you're, and I relate it back to the word substance. We have music out here that there's good music. You know what I'm saying, and we've gotten away from that. And a lot of it, I feel like if substance was put back into it, it would give people a much better feeling about how society really is and how life really works and how people operate. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
I definitely feel you on that. All right, so um, my next thing I want to know is, what would you say is your favorite song, and do you even listen to your own music at all?
Man, personally, you asking me was one of my favorite songs, what my favorite song that I created so far.
Yeah, one of your songs that you
Um,
create. Yeah.
man, my personal favorite song I haven't put out yet, but man, it's a song called Matching. But and what was the second part of that question? My bad.
And the second part was, do you even listen to your own music?
Yeah, I do listen to my own music, man, because like I said, I feel like music should, you know what I'm saying, basically vibe with you know what I'm saying, whatever you going through, even if it's not my music, you know what I'm saying. I like to listen to stuff that relates to me, so yeah, personally I do listen to my own music, man, and I do that for another reason too, because I listen to it and I dissect it. I'm like, man, what could I have done better? You know what I'm saying? How could I have sounded better? How could my harmony have been a little bit better? So I'm one of those type of people, man. Like I like to see my work, man, and I like to not be content with my work right then. I like to always see how I could get better at something.
Okay, okay. And you know what? And you know what? And that's honestly one of those things I'm having to also again tell myself is, the more better I can become, the more I will succeed and continue to drive within this field. So I definitely appreciate you for, elaborating on that and really, what I'm saying, giving us the real 100 on that, for real, for real. All right. So next I want to know is your routine, your mantra, your process when it comes to before you hit the stage, before you hit, grace the people. what is your process like before you hit that stage? Like what you know, what says what do you how do you mentally get prepared for that?
Mentally, I get prepared for a show, man. Like the day before, like the day of, you know what I'm saying, I go to a rehearsal, man. I do a little rehearsal and I listen to the car, yada, yada, yada. But me personally, man, I'm one of those people, I don't believe in over practicing something because then I believe it comes generic, you know. So I do listen to my songs, you know what I'm saying? I go over the lyrics part, but, you know, and I might have some certain motions that I might do, you know what I'm saying, that I've already planned out. But mainly, man, I kind of like to just go with the flow, man, because I believe that it makes it real, you know what I'm saying, instead of generic in practice.
Okay. And yeah, you never, and like you say, yeah, you never can go wrong with practicing and rehearsing because, you know, it's like, you know, the one thing that we, you know, a lot of people fail to realize is that once you get on that stage and you're in that flow, sometimes you may have a tendency to, you know, forget a line or two, but then you just, but yet in the midst of the moment, you still going because, you know, it's like you can't stop within it. You gotta, you know, so you gotta keep it pushing. You feel me? So
I
I
feel like,
definitely feel you
man,
on that.
if you got the, you know what I'm saying, if you got the right energy, a lot of times I feel like that can cover up, you know what I'm saying? Say you did miss a word or two, man. If you got the right energy and the crowd vibing with your energy, you know what I'm saying? They hype, man, people don't even realize that if you keep going.
Exactly, exactly, and I've noticed that with you know with certain artists like they may have missed a verse or what two, and I'm thinking I'm like oh shit, but yet they still keep going though.
Mm-hmm.
So you know that's how you
Yeah.
know that you're perfected in your craft, that because you can still keep going even
Yeah.
if you miss a verse. You know what I'm saying? So that's truly the versatility within music. You know what I
I think
mean? So
I think the
all right,
hardest part, oh my bad, go ahead, man.
go ahead. No, you go ahead.
I said, I think personally with that question you asked me, man, I think the hardest part is, man, if I had to say the hardest part on stage, man, it's really running out of breath, man. So you know what I'm saying? Like to me, you know what I'm saying, in the rehearsals before the show and stuff like that, I start thinking about little points. All right, where might I run out of breath here? You know what I'm saying? And then, you know what I'm saying, doing a little stuff to cover that up, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I think, you know what I'm saying, that's probably the most important part is knowing where you're gonna take your breaths before you do a show, you know.
Okay. Okay. Well, you definitely got to be able to catch your breath because
Yeah.
when you like, because like I said, when you just going and going and going and going, you know, you do get tired after. It's like, damn, like,
Yeah.
I'm spending all this, you know, saying this energy. You feel me? And I'm already getting overwhelmed. But you know, hey, you know, at the end of the day, you know, you end up gaining all that back, you know,
Mm-hmm.
over the course of time. You know what I mean? All right, so cool. You know, appreciate you for elaborating on that. So, next thing I want to ask is, if you wasn't an artist, what would you be doing right now? Like, what would you rather be doing with yourself right now?
Man, if I wasn't an artist, man, I'd probably be a basketball player, man. I actually was recruited and played college basketball, man. So I guess if I wasn't giving my time, you know what I'm saying, to be an artist, man, I'd be putting it all in being a basketball player or if it wasn't that, being an entrepreneur. Because I'm not one of those guys like, man, I can't sit behind the desk, man. I can't, you know, 9 to 5, you know.
I feel you though. I mean, hey, that's facts though. I mean, a lot of people can't. I mean, here's the thing, you know, and we laugh about it, but truthfully, you're right because you know you can see somebody that can sit behind the desk for 9 to 5. It's like okay, cool. You know, you're making your little money. That's cool. But my level of success is a little bit bigger. It's a little bit higher.
Man,
Now a lot of people may say it's cocky. You know, you may be trying to reach before the sun before you can, but you know, I do truly believe in the fact that you do have to work your way from the bottom and work your way to the top. But like you said, with you being your own entrepreneur and you being your own businessman, of course you're able to, you know, do things the way you see fit, so that way it can prosper in the right way. You know what I mean?
for
So
sure.
I could
It's just,
definitely see, I could definitely see you being that basketball player. Now, I must ask, on a side note, if you were to play professional basketball, where would you want to go, or where would you want to end up?
like as far as like what playing in the playing world or what just with basketball in general, man.
Either basketball in general or professionally, if you had to choose.
Man, for me, man, I'm one of them dudes. If I do something, man, I'm trying to do it at the